third one, single broad palatal major connector. Now see, now it is becoming more broader and broader. It started with a thin bar, then it became a strap. Now it is almost becoming like a whole plate in the maxilla, right? You can also call this as an anatomical replica major connector. Anatomical replica major connector, because anatomically it is replicating the whole area of the palate. That is why it can also be called as anatomical replica major connector. Now where all you can use this anatomical replica major connector? So the first situation, what I would say, is class 1 Kennedy situation. Now it is become broad, right? So if both the sides 2, 2, 3, 3 teeth or 4 teeth are absent, you can use this broad palatal major connector. So Kennedy's class 1 situations. You can use in V and U shaped palate. Okay, where it is V and U, you can use flat palate. It's not good to use this much heavy major connector, right? When it is V or U shaped, it crosses the planes, the vertical and the horizontal planes. So all rotational movement and retention will be good. But when the palate is flat, that time it might cause problems. It should be used with cases with good abutments. Okay, why good abutments? Because now it is more broader and bigger, so more weight means more forces on the abutment. So if the abutment is not strong or good enough, it might get damaged and your prosthesis might fail. Then cases with more than 6 remaining teeth, more than 6 remaining teeth. So it is like same Kennedy class 1, where 2 premolars and 2 molars on both the sides are absent. Minimum 6 teeth are present, that is canine to canine. You can go with this one major connector. If I talk about the advantages, yes, good retention will improve, because now the coverage is also more and vertical support is also more. Good retention, good vertical support, and natural feeling to the patient. Why? Because when it was a thin bar or strap, it was in different area where the patient tongue used to again go and touch, and he used to feel something new or different. But when it is extending across almost majorly the whole part of palate, then it is smooth and totally in the same level, though it is a plate. So in that case the discomfort is less and the patient might feel more natural. The only disadvantage of this is can cause papillary hyperplasia. See, as the coverage increases, the stress on the tissues increases. Stress increases, all these problems come. So when there was a bar, problem was not there. You made a strap, papillary hyperplasia came. You made it into a palatal major connector, then again papillary hyperplasia might be seen. Papillary hyperplasia. Okay. So this was a third major connector. Now moving on to the next one, that is the fourth one, that is called antero-posterior or double palatal bar. What it is called? It is called antero-posterior or double palatal bar. See, now after an extent they couldn't more broaden it, right? They almost covered the major part of the palate. So now the next modification is what? They relieved it from the center, because they felt that this is unnecessary coverage, where if we want to go for a longer replacement of the teeth where 4 teeth are missing, it is not compulsory that you give whole palate, you create a window. So they came up with a modification and new design came, that is antero-posterior or double palatal bar. So now this is divided into 2 parts. Okay, the first part is your anterior palatal strap, anterior palatal strap, and the behind one is posterior palatal bar. Okay, so anterior palatal strap and posterior palatal bar, and we already know what is a bar, which is thin, and a strap is which is a little bit broader than the bar. Again, similarly, this also follows the L bar principle. L bar principle, it is which configuration? It is circular configuration, where all the forces are dissipated properly around this circle. You can go with long span edentulous cases. So Kennedy's class 1, then if tori is present, inoperable tori, where you cannot reduce the tori, right? So in that cases you can relieve that area, tori will be as it is, and you can make an RPD, right? Apart from that, if I tell you the indications, suppose if the anterior and posterior abutment are widely separated, one it's canine over here and over one side it is second molar, so the anterior and posterior abutment widely separated in that cases. Okay, already told the palatal tori. Okay, where you want to avoid the palatal coverage, avoid palatal coverage. Patient wants that I don't want the whole palate to be covered, I need a relief over there. Or you can also use in class 4 Kennedy's situation, not in class 1. Okay, class 4 Kennedy's situation, where you want to replace the anterior teeth, posterior teeth are present, so you give a circular configuration, 4 clasp at 4 different corner, and you replace the 6 anterior teeth. That also can be done. When we talk about the disadvantages, or yeah, so disadvantages is limited support, because now the coverage which was there is gone, so the support is also decreased, and sometimes it might be uncomfortable also, because when we discuss about the palatal bar and strap, that time only I mentioned that it might be uncomfortable. So now both of them together obviously is going to increase the discomfort level to that for that patient, right? So antero-posterior or double palatal bar is nothing, it is one strap plus one bar, where if the teeth are widely separated, suppose for example one canine to canine the teeth are present and second molars are present, but two premolars and one molar is not present on both the sides, so you can use this circular configuration. Okay, apart from that, if you want to replace only anterior teeth, you can take support from posterior and replace anterior also. So that is how you need to decide. It is not that you have to mug up that which major connector will be used in which situation, right? So till now we completed 4: single posterior palatal bar, palatal strap, single broad palatal major connector, and antero-posterior or double palatal bar. Now we are moving on to the 5th one. Okay, so now they made double everything, so now they cut the whole palatal area in U-shaped, no posterior palatal bar or strap, anything like that, a U-shaped, okay, till the cingulum area of the teeth. Okay, so that what we'll name it as horseshoe shaped major connector. Which major connector? Horseshoe shaped. Why horseshoe shaped? Because it is in the shape of a horseshoe, that why. Okay, that's why. So that is lying what? Along the cingulum of teeth. Now see, two things, the question might arise in your mind, that sir told that the margin should be 6 millimeters away, now the major connector is still the cingulum. Yes, you can keep it on cingulum, but you should provide relief in the gingival marginal area, so that the major connector is not impinging and causing any discomfort or any problematic state of inflammation or something like that, right? So horseshoe shaped major connectors. Okay, now it is extends on the palatal, the walls of the palate, the lateral walls of the palate, so it extends across the walls of palate in a U-shaped. Okay, where all can we give this type of major connector. So first, if you want to replace many teeth but you don't want full coverage, okay, so replace many teeth can be a first option. Suppose second, palatal tori again. If that but why can't we give AP bar, this anteroposterior bar, and why should we give horseshoe shape? Because anteroposterior bar extends only till the junction of hard and soft palate. So if tori is extending beyond the junction of hard and soft palate, so in that case you cannot extend more behind, right? So you will give a U shaped where the same requirement will be fulfilled. Again, same, where you cannot use a complete palate, right? When we talk about that complete palate or anatomical replica, we cannot keep it on a prominent median suture, but if there is a prominent median suture, you can keep it in this area like a horseshoe shaped also. So prominence median suture over here becomes the indication. And lastly, it is for excessive vertical overlap. Excessive vertical overlap. Now where all we cannot use, or first the disadvantages, right? So the one main disadvantage is when vertical forces, okay, are acted on this major connector. When vertical forces are acting on this major connector, then it might tend to flex, bend, okay, and due to that undesirable force on the abutment, undesirable force on abutment and discomfort. So where there are posterior teeth absent in class 1 situations, you cannot use this, cannot be used in class 1 situation due to this reason, okay. Don't get confused. When the vertical forces will act, it will flex, okay, so that is why it might lead to undesirable forces on the abutment as well as and cause discomfort, but that is why it cannot be used in class 1 situations. Then next is closed horseshoe. When the horseshoe was open, because it was flexing, to avoid that flexion problem, they closed the horseshoe and made it somewhat like anteroposterior bar, but the anterior over here is like till the cingulum, and posterior there is a strap present, okay. So this is called as closed horseshoe. We saw a normal conventional horseshoe. Now the next is a closed horseshoe. Again, this goes for your circular configuration, right? It is similar to horseshoe, only thing is a metal strap is added, additional metal strap is added. Why? To avoid flexion, okay. Indications, if we talk, yes, it can be used where numerous teeth are to be replaced with tori, okay. Again, if the tori is there, we can relieve it and use in the cases of tori also, right? Then this also goes through a L-bar principle or L-beam effect, where when it extends on the slope of the palate, it has more strength and good or decent support from the palatal tissues, okay. So these stand out the advantages. When I talk about the disadvantages, main problem is discomfort, uneasiness or irritation, and speech problems. So these all problems can come with closed horseshoe major connector. Now next, the last but not the least, that is your complete palate major connector. So now they didn't have any option, so they ended up making a complete palate major connector. So like how our RPD extends over the whole palate, no, in the same way the whole metal is extended over the palatal area. Okay, but till the junction of hard and soft palate, that should not change. Hard and soft palate. When we talk about indications, obviously so much big connector if we are using, so replace many teeth, then only it is a necessary requirement of using this connector, otherwise the smaller ones are available. So replace many teeth. Then you can also go for Kennedy's class 1 situations. Suppose all mandibular natural teeth are present, all mandibular natural teeth present. So for strength purpose, you cover the whole palatal area by this major connector. I mentioned about flat ridges, right? So in the cases of flat ridges, as we have less retention, so you can use, because good coverage and support will in turn enhance the retention also. So in the cases of flat palates, you can go with this, or cleft palate case, you want to cover the cleft, that areas also you can use. When we talk about the disadvantages, yes, obviously the more the coverage, more chances of papillary hyperplasia. Okay, so papillary hyperplasia and initially problem in phonetics, initially discomfort in speech. But advantages, if I talk, then in that case best rigidity and strength, and moreover good sensory perception also. Good sensory perception, because metal being a good conductor of heat, it will transmit the temperature very efficiently, and the patient might realize that it is hot or cold, because in acrylic that transmission doesn't happen to that level, and patient sometimes directly burns his throat or the posterior part of the oral cavity. Okay, so this was the last complete palate major connector. So in short, you start with a bar, slowly keep on increasing the size, then cut out, then totally cut out and make it U, then add a extension to that U, and ultimately you cover the whole palatal area. So that is how this major connectors have been evolved. Okay, so I hope this was a bit easier explanation than what you guys have heard in your college, right? And I hope you guys can now remember and will not mug up major connectors. Okay, still if you have any doubt, you can directly contact me through any social media platform and we'll solve your queries. I'll be happy to help you. Thank you so much for your valuable time. See you in the next class. So now